Alright, in this video we're going to talk about the Polar Ignite. Alright, so the Polar company did reach out to me to see if I would do a review on their watch, but we had no prior agreement whether I should do a positive or negative review. This is my own thoughts on this product. So let's talk about this watch. And the first thing that you will notice on this watch is this yellow band. Like I said, they did give me this watch and they gave me this yellow band watch, which is awesome, but I do not like this yellow band. It's a 20 millimeter band and it's made out of silicone. It's comfortable and everything, but yellow bands just scream sports watch. And you know, I like to wear my watch all day. These are activity trackers after all, and for me, I don't like to have a watch that screams fitness watch on me all day. So lucky for me, my Vivo Active 3 actually also has a 20 millimeter watch band, and I'm gonna switch it out right now. And the good thing about this watch is that they do come with a quick release bands, so it is pretty easy to switch out. After I took out the yellow watch band, this watch is looking pretty good. I mean, it's gonna look good on your wrist. It's not the biggest watch face. I think it's only a 40 millimeter watch face. It's a sleek, low profile watch. If you can see right there, it doesn't raise too high on the wrist. You hardly notice that it's there once it's on. So if you look at the watch, the first thing you will notice is that beautiful screen. The screen is really great. This is a motion activated screen, meaning you will have to actually flip your wrist in order to see it. Similar to what an Apple Watch has, it does not have an always on screen. This is one of their IPF TFT touchscreens. You can either flip your wrist or touch the button on the side to activate the screen. The glass on it is made out of something called Dragon Tail glass, and yeah, it's a nice screen. You can see that the colors show up really nice. I think it's one of the better screens out there on watches right now. It's almost Apple-like when you compare it to the Garmin watch. This bezel over here is made out of steel, so is the button. And then you turn it around to the back and you have all the Polar heart rate monitors and the pulse ox over here. Polar is actually really well known for their heart rate monitors, and they've been in the running watch arena for a while now, but yeah, you can see right here that this is really crazy. Look at all those lights on there. The red light is for your PO2, and then the green light is for your heart rate. So the heart rate is pretty accurate. I think it's really comparative to what my Garmin shows, so I have no qualms with the heart rate. All right, so let's look at that screen. The screen is a motion activated screen. The problem that I have with it is that once you flip your wrist, it lasts for about 4 seconds until it turns off on you again. I wish that you could customize it where you could have it on for a little bit longer, maybe 10 seconds or 15 seconds. That would be great, but this one only does it for about 4 seconds. I wish that you could turn it on by just touching the screen, like the Garmin watch. If you just touch the screen, it'll turn on, but since this does not have a always on display, I guess that's the way that they have to do it, but just wish you could just touch it and it would turn on. So let's look at the screens that it has. So the first screen you have is the time with the date on it, and then the next screen is your activity screen. It'll tell you the amount of activity you're doing, and of course all these screens, if you press on it, they'll give you a little bit more info, such as your steps and how much time you've been active and your calories you burnt. And another thing about this is that you can't go back by swiping right like some of the watches. You can't go back by swiping right. You actually have to press this button over here to go back. It's kind of weird because on some screens you can swipe to the right to go back, and the other times you pretty much have to press this back button in order to go back. So let's go on to the next screen. This is going to be your heart rate, and if you press that again, it'll show you all your heart rate stats. And then again, you can't go back. You have to press this to go back. And then this is your training sessions. And then the next screen is going to be your sleep. It'll tell you all your sleep functions. And then the last screen is going to be the little FitSpark. FitSpark is a feature that Polar has that gives you workouts based on your recovery and fitness levels and also your training history. So depending on how hard you train, how well you slept, it will tell you what kind of workout you should do. So for instance, this watch right now is telling me I should do a supportive workout. I didn't sleep well the other day and I have been training a lot, so it wants me to do some core work, which is awesome. That's pretty cool that it has this smart coach kind of feature on it to help you train better and smarter. The next thing that it has is the nightly recharge. The nightly recharge, it will tell you how well you recharge yourself after you slept. And that's depending on the amount of sleep that you got. It'll tell you how much time you spent on each different sleep stage. I do have sleep apnea, so I wear a CPAP machine every night when I go to sleep. So it's fun to see how well I sleep. And generally, I think that this is actually a better version than the Garmin one, because the Garmin one sometimes has me worried. Like it'll tell me that I only had 20 minutes of deep sleep, which is like, what? And this one will actually tell me a little better. And for me, I feel that it tracks my sleep better, and when I do sleep better, it shows it better with the Polar app compared to the Garmin app. The Garmin app will almost kind of show that I'm not sleeping well, but who knows which is more accurate. But for me, I feel like the Polar is more accurate in measuring my sleep. Another feature that it has is a breathing exercise widget called Serene. So if you go to Serene, if you click on that, it'll give you exercises to do to kind of relax yourself and breathe. I've done them maybe once or twice. It's relaxing, but it does take a while. Not something that I use too much. Okay, so I'm a runner, so let's look at the options that it has for running. So in order to turn on the running mode, you would have to press this button once, and then go to start your training, and go to your running mode. Once you go to your running mode, you can click on that and it'll start. The thing that I really hated about this watch is the flipping of the wrist and seeing the display, but I figured out what you can do is once you have it on training, this is only on training mode, you can swipe down on the screen and then go to this little backlight button, press that, and it'll be always on. So after you do that, the screen will never turn off anymore. You'll always have that screen on you, so it will be a little bit better on your workouts. I like to quickly glance at my watch to see my data, and what I found, if I don't have it always on, I would have to do the wrist dance, and it was just getting annoying. So I'm glad I found out the feature that you could have it turned on. All right, so let's look at the data that it shows you right here. So right there, it shows you distance, pace, and duration. You swipe it, it'll show you more your heart rate, lap average, and this is all customizable on the app. You just have to go to the run screen and do that. So it shows you all the basic metrics that you want. With the GPS, I found it really comparable to my Garmin watch, my Vivo Active 4. Whenever I wore them together, they measured pretty much the same distance. Maybe one was a little bit shorter than the other, so who really knows which one is more accurate, but overall, I would say that they're pretty much the same accuracy. I ran them on trails and also on roads, and to me, the maps look pretty similar to each other, and the distance was 0.1 or 0.2 off from each other, if that. So sometimes it was exactly the same, and sometimes it was just a little bit off. One of the things that we have to talk about is the Polar app. So once you go into the Polar app, you can customize your sports profiles. And this is one of the things that a lot of people couldn't figure out, and I figured it out. So what you do is go to your sports profiles and then go to your running and edit. And automatically when you first get it, it's set to kilometers, and it'll beep at you every kilometer, which is like 0.67 or whatever it is. You have to set that to 1 mile. So it won't vibrate you at every kilometer, but it'll do that at every mile, which is what you want. The next thing that you want to do to set up that I like to do is the vibration feedback. For me, the training program on this is pretty cool. Like I said, it will adjust to your training, but it is all heart rate training. And if you don't like heart rate training and you just decide to do a run and not care about your heart rate, but still follow the training that it wants you to do, it will buzz at you every maybe 15 seconds or less. It got really annoying. My heart rate was really high, and I was supposed to be in the 145s or 150s, and I was at 160. It would buzz at you every 5 to 10 seconds until your heart rate got lower. So I found that annoying. So what you want to do with this is actually turn that off. So I did that, and I'm a much happier user of this Polar Ignite. Let's take a look at all the sport profiles that it has. If you look at it, it has over 100 sport profiles. There's so many. So many. It has all the Les Mills. If you guys are into Les Mills and want to track your workouts by using your watch, Les Mills is partnered with Polar, and you could track all your Les Mills workouts with this. It has literally everything. Orienteering, Pilates, snow trekking. This probably has the most sports profiles of any watch that I've seen. All right, so let's talk about the pros of this watch. My number one pro is going to be the battery life. The battery life of this is great. For you ultra runners who are trying to get to up to a 50K or 50 miler, 17 hours will be more than enough for most of you guys. If you are getting into ultra marathoners, definitely will last you more than enough for a marathon. I like the screen. The screen is pretty nice, bright. You can see it in daylight and nighttime. And then I like the low profile of it. I also like all the sports profiles that it provides with you, and the Fit Spark feature where it has that smart coach that coaches you and will tell you if you're working too hard or working too slow. The cons that I have on this watch is going to be, again, that display. It'll only be on for about 4 seconds and then it'll turn off. I wish that you could customize that so it could stay on longer than what it is. I'm glad that I found the feature on the run that you can have it always on by swiping down, but that's one of the more annoying things, because if you're on a run or even if you're out and about and want to look at the time, sometimes this wrist thing does not work on you. Along with it not being customizable with the length of the on-screen time, I wish that you had more customization with the watch faces. There's only 2 watch faces that you can have. This is the analog version, and of course, this is the digital version. While they are good-looking watch faces, I wish you could customize them a little bit more. Another con is it has no music controls for your music. Kind of wish that it had that, so it has a little bit more functionality on the run. Because sometimes I don't like pressing the buttons on my earphones because it just digs it in deeper. I like to actually just press it on my watch. It just works better for me that way. Other than that, like I said, it is a good watch. If you are a runner and you need a watch, this is going to be something for you. How much does this watch cost? This watch will run you $229.95. A little bit pricey for me. If you like these features that it has, such as the Fit Spark smart coaching, this is something that Garmin doesn't have. So that's going to be something that will kind of push you towards this watch. But if you don't need those features, maybe you could look at a Garmin, a cheaper Garmin, maybe a Vivo Active 3. It just depends on what features you want. This watch could be the one for you, maybe it could not. But for me, I'm just going to give it like this. I'm not going to give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It's going to be like an okay watch to purchase. So that's the my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any more questions on this watch, let me know in a comment down below and I'll try to answer it. Subscribe to my channel if you guys want to. Like it if you wish. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. 0.67 every, and I think that it tracks it just perfect. And I think that it tracks some of the things that I really like about it.